जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी। जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंजा विहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिता। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन गौर हरे। जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन जय सचिनंदन गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो जय गौर हरि। गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। नदिया बिहारी गौर हरि नदिया बिहारी गौर हरि। मायपुर चंद्रा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि गौरा गौरा गौर हरि। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। ताय गौ प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। देवान विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्य श्रीमद् दिव्य ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत संशुकोपाद की जय। देवों विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्य श्रीमद् दिव्य श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत गौड़ी वैष्णव की जय। नवाचार्य सरदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमय यमुनामाई की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Thy God Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। बहुत जय। So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service, Chapter 2, title, verse number 9 and 10. Both are connected. Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service, verse number 9 and 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. 1.2.9 Dharmasya hi apavargasya धर्मस्य हि आपवर्गस्य न अर्धो अर्धायो उपकल्पते नार्धस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः धर्मस्य हि आपवर्ग्यस्य न अर्धो अर्धायोपकल्पते नार्धस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः धर्मस्य हि आपवर्ग्यस्य न अर्धो अर्धाय उपकल्पते नार्धस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मृतः. Word to word translation. Dharmasya, occupational engagement, is certainly apavargya, sya, ultimate liberation, na, not, artha, and ardhaya, for material gain, upakalpate, is meant for, na, neither, ardhasya, of material gain, dharma, ekantasya, for one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service, kama, sense gratification, lavasya, attainment of, he, exactly, smrutaha, is described with the great sages. Translation by Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Gopal ki jai. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Repeat. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Verse number 10. कामस्य न इन्द्रियप्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा न अर्धो यश्च इह कर्मभिः कामस्य न इन्द्रियप्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा न अर्धो यश्च इह कर्मभिः कामस्य न इंद्रिय प्रीतिर्लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्त्वजिज्ञासा नार्धो यच्च इह कर्मभिः. Word translation. Kamasya, of desires, na, not, indriya, senses, priti, satisfaction, labha, gain, jiveta, self-preservation, yavata, so much so, Jivasya, of the living being, Tattva, the absolute truth, Jignasa, inquiries, Na, not, Artha, and Yascha Iha, whatsoever else, Karma Bihi, by occupational activities. Translation. Life's desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Translation. Life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Life's desire should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only healthy life or self-preservation. Since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth, nothing else should be the goal of one's works. You understand? ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वैष्णव की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। Thank you for joining. Today is the Kartik month or Damodar month starting first day. So because of first day, so the temple program will be there. Saturdays generally opens at 7 o'clock, Gaur Arati, and then followed by Damodar Ashtakam today. So that's why I had to change my schedule. And 8 o'clock we have His Grace Dravida Prabhu's class is there. So please try to join. I posted, otherwise I'll post after this class, 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 Eastern time. So that's why I had to move the class due to temple program to 6 to 7. Sorry for the last minute notice. So now today we are discussing 1.2, Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 9 and 10. So both are connected. So dharmasya hi apavargasya kamo labha hi sprutah dharma kantasya. So basically this chapter is divinity and divine, is a very very important chapter. This is giving answers or solutions to the 6 main important questions. All Srimad Bhagavatam is in response to those 6 questions. Saunaka and other rishis assembled in Naimisharanya asking these 6 questions. What is the ultimate good for the people in general? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki and Vasudev? Then what are the Leela Gunavataras of the Supreme Lord? What are the pastimes of the Leela Avataras of the Supreme Lord? And then when Krishna left the planet, where did religion take shelter? These are the 6 questions. And then in response, Sutta Goswami, who is the spiritual master of these sages, so then he is answering those questions. And after offering his obeisances to his spiritual master, offering his obeisance to the spiritual master Sukadeva Goswami and Vyasdev, Naranarayan Rishi, Lord Narayan, Naranarayan Rishi, and the Saraswati. And then he started speaking to the Saunaka and other rishis. And then he started addressing the question, answering the immediate answers, brief answers. Obviously, what is the ultimate good for the people in general is to engage in bhakti yoga or Bhagavad Bhakti, pure devotion service. That's right. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma. That is the topmost dharma. Dharma, we'll go to that in these 2 verses. Dharma is mentioned multiple times. So we have to understand what is dharma, what is karma, what kind of activity we should do, what we shouldn't do. That is clearly been specified because people may interpret different things. So that's why it is clearly laid out. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaji ahaituki apradihata ayatma suprasida. The topmost thing is to engage our senses, especially adokshaja. Ada krita gnanam adokshaja. So one whose material senses, brain senses cannot perceive the transcendental subject. So that's why we need to only by bhakti, bhaktyamam abhijanati. Only we can understand tattva, the absolute truth. Again and again, Bhagavad Gita and all the shastras we see that. In the introduction of Bhagavad Gita itself, we see that atato brahma jignasa. That is the same thing in this verse is mentioned. Jivasya tattva jignasa. Whenever we hear tattva, that means absolute truth. That is what tattva means. We have to understand Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, that God. What is Krishna? What it means to say Krishna? Krishna includes everything. What are his energies? What are his incarnations? So everything we have to know, understand in great detail. That's why this Bhagavad Gita is giving fundamental, foundational knowledge, and then Srimad Bhagavatam is going above that with examples even much more deeper, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita is going even further with much more practical examples with so many devotees end to end. So that's why these transcendental books helps us to understand that what is the tattva, so that we can give up this current conditional state and give up the temporary happiness and develop attachment to the permanent happiness internally, not externally. We don't give up anything. It's because everything belongs to Krishna. We utilize everything in Krishna's service. So in this verse, it is mentioned using our senses to engage in His service is the highest dharma. That is the ultimate good for everybody. Doesn't matter which country, whether it is what caste, what creed, what color. Doesn't matter. No bar. It is for everybody. Then further is mentioning that using the senses. Then further he mentioned about the next process is to connect, use is the consciousness, also mind, intelligence and consciousness. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojanayati Asu. What will happen? What will be the result? Because they ask, what is the essence of all the scriptures? Okay, we understand ultimate good is to engage in Bhagavad Bhakti, Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatan Dharma, Bhagavad Dharma. Yes, what it means? To that means it is to engage in the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Vasudeva, specific personality name. Vasudeva is the especially consciousness, pure, Suddha Sattva, Vasudeva Bhagavati. So Lord Vasudeva's son, Krishna, Vasudeva, that's it. Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. By engaging in Bhakti devotion service, then automatically, very quickly will receive knowledge and also detachment, internal detachment. Some people may say again, using the consciousness of mind, intelligence, senses in the previous verse, and then mind, intelligence, and consciousness to be in relation with Krishna, utilizing in Krishna's service, then automatically we will gain knowledge. That's why the topmost thing is to chant the holy name, and topmost thing is to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita about Krishna Katha. Satam prasangat mama virya samvido bhavante hrit karna rasayana. Only when we hear among the association of devotees regularly, then that is the topmost thing. Even when we go to pilgrimage, also holy places, this is the main thing we need to do. Otherwise, it is yatirtha buddhe salilena karichit. It is just like ordinary water. You are just taking as a pious credo. I am getting purified, but nothing we are putting in practice. So only when we hear in the association of pure devotees, when we hear from pure devotees, then when we put in the practice, then there will be transformation. Then there will be result. Phalena Parichit. Then we will be able to really come to that ultimate happiness. So Brahma Saukyam Antam. That kind of not temporary happiness. So that's why it is very important. Even during Damodar month, Purushottam months, it is even more important. Main thing is Avanam and Kirtan. That includes also worshipping the deity at home, at the temple whenever possible. Obviously, if you are not Pujari, Brahmana, we cannot worship the deity at temple. So, but at home we can worship the pictures or the murti, whatever we have. So in that way, even in the temple we can do Prabhupada murti. We can approach, we can touch, we can offer obeisances, we can and we can worship Tulsi Maharani also. But the deities we cannot touch unless you are have altar seva and you are pujari or brahmana. So that's the thing. So anyway, but Shravanam and Kirtanam is the topmost thing. Even when we go to temple also, we shouldn't be jumping and taking darshan. If somebody is giving class, we should sit and hear the class. Quick darshan. We want to offer obeisances, immediately sit in the class and hear. This is the etiquette. This is the Shastra is telling, because not through eyes. What can we see? How long we can see? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami, when he was speaking, some of his disciples left from his place and then went to take his darshan, take the darshan of the Lord. They left and then he told, so what is going to see? Eyes opening and closing his eyelids. That's all. Because unless you have a Shastra Chakshu, unless you have a realized knowledge, then you can see and understand what is Krishna's personality is. So each and every limb of the body, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti charam jaganti govindamadi purusham tamam bhaja. Every part of his body can do anything and everything, omnipotent, omniscient. So that is the power of Supreme Lord. So only way by hearing from the realized soul. That's why hearing is the more important. Through chanting and through the Krishna Katha, both kinds of hearing is very very important. So that's why here when you hear, then start hearing, then automatically when the mind, intelligence, senses, everything is filled up with transcendental knowledge, all the material knowledge or unwanted things gets washed off automatically, because we are really, as it is mentioned, गौरांगे मधुर लीला જ્યારે કર્ણ પ્રવેશિલા હૃદય બેલેતાર. So as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's katha is entered into the heart through the ear holes, jare karna praveshila, then hridaya beleta, then our nirmala beleta. So it becomes very peaceful and it becomes transformational. So it is not just information, it becomes a transformational. So that is the effect of with rapt attention one who hears. So that is the result. Narottam Das Thakur is singing a beautiful song. That is the one we mentioned in the other day also, class also, that Gaura Prema Rasarnave Yei Tarange Jabi Dube, the Sri Radha Madhava Antarangi. One who wants to cross over this Bhavasagara, then he must take the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Prema Rasarnave. He must connect with the mellows and the pastimes of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, non-different from Krishna, appeared in the mood of Krishna. Radha and Krishna are two personalities. They separated, but then they come together as one personality, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna himself, but he is combined form of Radha and Krishna together is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that he is ready to readily giving the mercy very easily and quickly, the highest process. So that's why this process, by simply hearing the Mahaprabhu's pastimes, that's why we chant. Before chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we chant Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya, who is Krishna, Balaram, Krishna and Radharani together as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, and then Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram, Krishna first expansion, and then further expansion, Balaram first, further expansion is Mahavishnu, Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu and Sadashiv together. And then you have Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, again appearing as separate. And then also Srivas Thakur, pure devotee, Narada Muni. In this way, 5 personalities, that is Pancha Tattva. So it's giving the, because Krishna is not alone. Krishna always with his devotee. Srivas Thakur is there. And his also internal energy is there. That is Srimati Radharani. And then you have also his expansions are there as Balram and also Mahavishnu. So in this way, all of them together, confidential pastime they are performing in Navadvip, Mayapur. So this way, but that's why it is very important to hear. By hearing, then automatically we will be able to attain Krishna Prema. You can become the confidential associate. Narottam Das Thakur is mentioning this. Is a great acharya in our line, Brahma Madhva Gaudi Sampradaya. So in this specific verse, so we are coming to Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojanayati Asu Vairagyam Gnanancha Dahaikuto. So naturally we will develop detachment also. So not by just knowledge. Knowledge we have to put in practice. That's why that Vasudeva is mentioned. Consciousness, we must put in practice. Consciousness must be applied. So intelligence and mind, will come to that in this specific verse that is also mentioned. And then people may think knowledge is good enough. Why should I practice? Why should I put in? Why should detachment? Just knowledge is good enough, but it's not good enough. Those are on the Mayavadis, those who are just on the platform of Gnana, just simply attached to Gnana. So they want to renounce this world of activities. They think this world is false. So for them, they are simply renouncing everything. So that is not the instruction of the Shastra here. Specifically internal detachment, not external detachment. Then further, as we are mentioning, what is it? Previous verse 1 2.8, where it is mentioning, yeah, Vishwakshena Katasa na Utpadayad Yadrati Sama Eva Hi Kevalam. So, where it is mentioning, yeah, Dharma Swanastitam Pumsam Vishwakshena Katasya. Yeah, knowledge is not only enough, it must be engaged in the service. Vishwakshena is how he has engaged in the service of Lord Narayana. So, then that way we must engage in the service of the Lord. Then automatically we will be able to really will be able to really develop internal detachment. That means practice, and that's why these three personality, Adokshaja, Vasudeva, and Viswakshana is mentioned. That was the previous. Now in this specific verse 9 and 10, where it is mentioned, Dharmasya hi apavargasya. What this dharma means? Dharma means this is the ultimate occupational duty. Means it begins. There are 20 dharma shastras, but here it is mentioned whatever shastra you take up, ultimate occupation is to connect with the Supreme. The Dharma Shastra starting with Varnashrama system. What is that's why it is called ashram. Even Grihastha ashram. Why it is not mentioned as any other? Ashram is minute it is used as ashram means together two personalities coming together and taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, serving the Supreme Lord together. Ashraya, the ashramam. So that ashrama, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord together and serving, coming together to serve Supreme Lord. So that's why in all these yajnas, samskaras, vivaha, samskara also, that's what it says. But we don't hear those words during that time. So we are in some other plane. So that is what in this material world. That's why it is mentioned. Prakshepatmika Shakti is and Avaranatmika Shakti is acting very heavily. So that's what is covering the living entity. So that's why even the big demigods also sometimes when they engage in some sinful activity or offensive activities, then as Indra offended the spiritual master and other Vaishnavas, then he became a hog. Then he was there sitting as a hog. Then Brahma wants him back. Then he doesn't want to come out because Prakshepatmika Shakti, the body is in, he is completely immersed in that position. He is not realizing who actually he is. He's thinking he is the body, he is the hog, and he's thinking his associate, his children and everything, his family and everything else. So that is Prakshepatmika Shakti, covering completely. So that's why it is very important. Unless you practice this, put in practice, receiving knowledge and association is very important. Pure devotees association and hearing, and then putting that in instructions into practice. That's it. So here it is meant that the ultimate occupation, dharmasya hi apavargasya. So dharma, there are chaturvargas. There is the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is what is mentioned here. Dharmasya hi apavargasya na ardhayo kalpate. So there. Dharmasya hi apavargasya na ardhayopakalpate na ardhasya dharmaikantasya kamo labai hi sprutah. So what is mentioned here is all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. So that means because this is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So people want to engage in occupational duties, some activity, but they are not realizing that they are thinking this is to gain some gain basically some benefits. Basically, what kind of benefit to increase for his own pleasure, to increase his what do you call the desires to enjoy, whether it's eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. These four things. but he is not realizing that this is it is temporary. It is going to be short. It is not going to, in Kali Yuga it's even further short. 60, 70 years itself is a great achievement. You can achieve how long we are going to live. And then that's what here is mentioned. But Shastra is clearly telling that dharma, the occupation duty, must be for apavargasya. Apavargasya means pa means parishram. This is pavargas. So it has to be a means neglecting or coming out of threefold miseries. So generally, when the living entity engage in whatever work, whether it's a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or Grahastha, Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, Sannyas, or engineer, or doctor, or whatever work he is doing currently, that's why for Kali Yuga, the main dharma is not Varnashram dharma. Because nobody is executing, who is following the Varnashrama, who is acting as actually Brahman. That means he cannot accept anything. Any charity comes, he will keep only whatever he needs, basic things, and he will has to give all the remaining amount. He cannot give more than what is required. So that is Brahmana. Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Dana, Pratigna. Same thing with all other occupational duties, also other varnas also. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Nobody is doing any of those activities. Even though they are situated in those, but they are not acting. So that's why. So varnashrama system will not work. So that's why for this age, Kali Yuga, Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtam. So it is mentioned. कलौर दोष निधे राजन अस्ति हेतो महान गुण कीर्तनादेव कृष्णस्य मुक्त संग परम व्रजेत. So by simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can become liberated. So that's what ultimately our occupational duty must be. Controlling the senses, there should be regulation. Even for the yoga process also it is mentioned. In the beginning, so if you look at Bhagavad Gita, you can clearly see when Arjuna was in dilemma on the battlefield, what was his instruction? After explaining about the body and soul difference, after explaining about the activity you must perform, you cannot renounce. If you renounce only, then you may go to hell. Because as Kshatriya, when you don't do your job, then you go to hell. You are supposed to perform whatever platform you are in. You are supposed to perform Swadharma. And then when you renounce that, then that is more dangerous than not doing the duty. So then rather, even if you die, you are going to get at least you will go to heaven, enjoy. Rather, you will not get sinful activity for not doing the duty. So then that's why he explained. Then when third chapter started, actually Karma Yoga started. What first Krishna mentioned, that you must perform, you cannot renounce your duty. And then important point is mentioning, whatever activity you must perform, for whose purpose it should be performed. Ignarde karmano anyatra. It must be done for Igna means Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's name. Ignardo karmano anyatra. If you perform karma activity in relation with this body and mind and senses, yourself, extended family only, then it is going to create bondage. That's what. Ignarde karmano anyatra. Anything which you are doing without in relation with Vishnu, anyatra, anything else, then ignardo karmano anyatra tadardam karma kaunte mukta sanka samachara. So it creates a bondage. But anything in relation with Lord Vishnu, if you perform any activity, then it creates a liberation. So that means ashraya with material things means of ourself, taking the shelter of our body, our extended body, extended family, of the material things for our own purpose, then it creates bondage. But minute we use the same thing in Krishna's service, in Lord Vishnu's service, that means same food, same sleeping, everything, all this can be purified. But it's just way how we utilize, how we do it, that is the difference. Same activity, but in relation with what we do, that's a big difference. And how much you do. That's why in further that is elaborately explained in 6th chapter also, it must be controlled, regulative. Regulation must be there. So yukta ahara viharasya, yukta chetasya karmasu, yukta sapna avabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. If you want to be come out of this miserable condition, difficulties, distress, happiness, distress, then you must control your senses. Especially you must regulate your senses, that is ahara, eating, sleeping and mating and defending, these 4 things. Recreation, yukta ahara, vihara, ahara means eating, vihara, recreation, activities and recreation, and vihara, swapna avabodhasya, wakefulness and sleep. So all these activities must be done, must be regulated. Yogo bhavati dukkha. Then it will liberate us. It will remove from the conditioned state of this temporary happiness and distress. So there, Prabhupada is mentioning that eating, only way you can control our senses is by taking only Krishna Prasad. Then only we can control our senses. We are not talking about a vegetarian or meat. Anything which is offered to Krishna we can take. Even vegetarian, when we did not offer, then still it is a simple activity. That's what Krishna first point is mentioning. Then the Karma Yoga first thing is mentioning. Before even talking about how the grains are coming, all those annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad annasambhava, these grains are produced from rains, rains are produced from sacrifice, sacrifice are produced from, this is in the situated transcendence. This yajna must be performed. Then only the rains are coming. If rain is there, then only grains are coming. That's what we are eating. But unless you perform sacrifice, then otherwise you are verily taking sinful activity. That is creating bondage. Whether whatever it is, anything you take, and it is not offered to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, then it is sinful activity. Whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not, that is clearly laid out. Shastra is just like the rules of the government. Whether we like it or not, there is a speed limit, there is a direction in which way you have to, there is jug handle. So whatever rules, the tax you have to pay, all these rules are there in each and every government, each and every country. You have to H1 rules, everything for every specific thing, for schools, for jobs, everywhere there are set specific rules in each and every country. You have to follow. We cannot come up with our own ideas and rules. So that's the same way. So here also same thing is applying. So, and Krishna is clearly telling Arjuna and all of us that ignardo karmana, it must be done for Lord Vishnu's pleasure. But Lord Vishnu is not going to take everything. He is giving everything back. Whatever we offer, he is not taking. We are not like Mukunda Datta's son, Raghunandan Thakur, where when he is crying, you are not taking, then Lord ate everything. The whole plate became empty. But we are not like those kind of devotees, where Lord is coming directly and eating everything. So that's not, neither we are Raghav Pandit, where he is, sometimes Lord was eating everything, whatever he has kept on the plate. So, but we are not that in that state. So here Lord is at least giving everything back to us. So that's why in Isha Upanishad also, even in the Upanishads also, first two Upanishad, Isha Upanishad, very important Upanishad, there also it is mentioned. ईशावास्यम इदम सर्वम यत्किंचित जगत्याम देवत तेन त्यक्तेन भुंजिता मा गृढ़ कस्य स्विद्धनम. If you take anything more than required, that's where regulation is very important. Anything you more than what you are supposed to, whatever ashram, whatever varna, whatever job you are taking, then you are implicated. Directly, first verse of the Iswapanishad is telling. That's why before Bhagavad Gita we discussed that, because that's even foundational knowledge. To understand about God, about this Prakriti, who we are, and what we should do. Very basic, 18 verses only, but it gives really a glimpse of that at a very, very high level. Isa Vasyam Vedam Sarvam. That means everything belongs to the Supreme Lord, including our body, including whatever resources. You name it, anything you take, your building, your body, you name it, everything is made up of these gross five elements. And who is in charge? Who is giving those resources? Those resources are coming from Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. So then, who is the proprietor? Who is the enjoyer? He is the supreme proprietor. He is the enjoyer. You work in a bank, then you are a teller or your cashier or whatever. Then if money is coming, and is that ours? No. Actually, it belongs to the government or to the bank. Nothing we cannot take. We work and then we give whatever comes. We give it to the owner, and then we deposit there, and then we come back home. So nothing belongs. He is the proprietor. So it belongs to the proprietor. It belongs to the actually. So in the same way, but obviously we get in return salary from the bank manager. Same way, so when we work, when we engage in this occupational duty, whatever, because of Kali Yuga, it is very difficult situation, with precarious condition we are in. We have to accept IT job or whatever business, whatever work we are trying to do. Hopefully, it is not irreligious activity, not in working in a butcher shop or something, a liquor shop, because that creates more implicated situation. Not for 1 year, 2 years. It can create for many years that implication for by working in any liquor shops or anything. Unless you perform really devotional activities, then Krishna can fully surrender. Then Krishna can remove those whatever we have committed in the past and agreeing that we will not do that again after realizing. Then Krishna can remove that. So otherwise, it is a great implication. Because Shastra is clearly telling those things are very much prohibited. At least once we know, then we should try to avoid and slowly pray. Only by the strength of the Supreme Lord, then only we can give up. Otherwise, we think everything is available. Why should I? Why shouldn't I eat? Then what is the difference between the human being and all other species of life? Why did Lord has given higher intelligence act as the same way as all other species? Then Shastra is clearly telling, Urdham gachanti satvastha, madhye gachanti rajasa, jaganna gunavurtishta, adho gachanti tamasa. If we use our free will inappropriately and then we engage in mode of passion or ignorance, especially in ignorance, that means tamasic activities, then we go downward. We will not get human birth. We have to go to downward species and downward planets, not even earthly planet. If we perform passionate activity, at least we will come to the earthly planet. May not get human birth, but no guarantee. But at least come to this earthly planet. And if we perform mode of goodness activities, at least we go to higher and higher planets. More you can. That's why mode of goodness is very important. But we have to come to ultimately pure goodness, because goodness also mixed with tinge of knowledge also becomes attachment. We become proud of the knowledge, but that also causes attachment. But at least that is better than passion and ignorance. So our eating habits, our sleeping habits, everything must be gradually come to the mode of goodness. So that's why the senses must be controlled and regulated. That is the first problem. That's what this dharma means. Occupational duty. So that is just like the if you take water, if you take salt, you take any of these things and you look at the properties. It is salty, it is liquidy, so it doesn't change. That is permanent. So dharma means it's a permanent duty which doesn't change. The living entity is permanent. Nitya Krishna Das, Jivya Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das, servant of Krishna, servant of Lord Vishnu. So that is our original identity. That is our core identity. All other duties, everything is in relation with that law, with that core identity. Our family, our friends, whoever we are serving, that's all in relation with Krishna. Krishna is arranging different things, different personalities. We are coming together by his arrangement. Then we should, in that way, we should see that everything it is divine arrangement, and let me serve them. Let me do it to my best of my capacity and share and give and direct and inform whatever within our capacity and situation we try to do that in relation with Krishna. Then that is what actual dharma means. The dharmasya apavargasya. So that apavargasya means, as I mentioning, the pavarga means papa baba ma. So that is pa means parishram, that means working hard. So day and night we may be working, then what will it lead to is without actually understanding what is the ashraya, what is the vishaya, what is the subject and object. Object is the ultimately Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Vishnu is the ultimate object of our life. So it is mentioned that pa means parishrama, hard work. And then what will result when you sleep? Fena, foam will come. So when we sleep, so that's why as soon as we wake up, we brush, we wash our mouth and hands, and we start chanting. If we don't use the main bathroom, then we can chant. First business is to chant the holy names, nothing else, not brushing the teeth, not taking bath. Unless we utilize the bathroom, then we have to take bath. Otherwise, so we can simply just wash and hand and mouth and then start chanting. Because that is the Brahma Muhurta, important time is early in the morning. Before everybody wakes up, we have to chant so that it's free of mind, must be free. Because when the senses are not, that is a peaceful time. Because senses, minute we think about all other activities, when everybody wakes up, our time is running, then we are thinking of so many things, then it is not, mind is not stable. So we will not be peaceful. That's why the more agitation will come. Why agitation? Why we become intolerant? Why anxiety? Why impatient will come when the senses are not controlled. When we are, when the senses are not controlled, especially the eating habits. If you are not taking only Krishna Prasad, that's a big problem. And when we have activities lined up, and you have just like you have 16 rounds to do, and your half day is done, and you haven't started chanting, what will happen? Because you already have a set of mind that you are supposed to finish chanting, and then you are seeing so many activities is there. So somehow your situation of family and other things is not allowing you to finish, then you already have that mindset, and it will create a disturbance, because it creates that's why we should, before we start anything, we finish our activity. In that way we have to manage the time. Our activities must be done such a way that, so that we can peacefully do it. Chanting is done before, so that at least some rounds, so that other activity doesn't bother us. Otherwise, any some important activity you are supposed to do, and then our family or kids or somebody is not allowing because of so many other engagements, immediately comes up, pops up, then you cannot finish, then you are running late to the important meeting. What will happen? Then you will be shouting, you will be angry, and you will be frustrated. So many things, because this when there is no time management, then these things will come. But ultimately, this is coming from the sense, because of senses not being controlled, and properly time is not being managed, and then automatically then we are getting the we are becoming frustrated. So that's why time must be managed very efficiently, and we should, work also should balance, be balanced. So that's why Krishna is mentioning that yukta ahara viharasya yukta chetas karmasu yukta swapna avabodhasya, or sleeping also. Those who are Krishna consciousness, and Prabhupada is giving a Rupa Goswami are sleeping hardly 1-2 hours. Obviously, that is not possible for us, but general devotees, it is 6 hours is the standard sleep, not 8 hours. Especially if it is above 30 years, 6 hours is good enough. But not, it shouldn't be like after 12 o'clock you sleep, then it is not really counted, because we should try to sleep by at least 10 o'clock. That 10 itself is generally late, but yeah, 10:30 is maximum. We shouldn't delay further. Then rather we should wake up early and then do our activity, finish our activities, because that more intelligence and more sharpness will be there, and more we can do finish quickly than doing in the late night. Those who are very much used to working late night, then it is very hard for them, because they are used to, but they have to start practicing. That's what Shastra is clearly indicating. More we utilize the ignorance time, passionate time. Night is the ignorance and passionate time. We are not like Prabhupada. Prabhupada was translating at, even then also Prabhupada was translating at 2 o'clock. Still that is Brahma Muhurta, early in the morning. Everybody is silent. Nobody is bothering. He can think. He can, he can think of Krishna's pastimes, and he can write. When so much disturbance, he cannot think properly. So it is not helping us. So that's why it is very important to manage our time. When you operate, when the time factor is in the mode of goodness, then naturally our mind and intelligence, everything becomes stable, peaceful. So we will not be agitated so much. But minute when our food habits, our eating habit, our sleeping habits, our association with those who are too much into this intoxication and whatnot, religious activity, more we associate, more we try to engage in those, then automatically senses, you may not see it now immediately, but automatically religious activities. Well, Krishna is also mentioning dharma viruddho kamosmi. Yes, the sex life is also allowed, but only for procreation. But anything other than that, it will lead on to angry and frustration, anger and frustration. Senses will not be controlled. Vacho vegam, speech will not be controlled. That is what the anger will come, because that is what Krishna is telling. The lust is telling Arjuna, why you are not able to control, because Arjuna, lust is situated in mind, intelligence, false ego and senses, because that lust is transformation of our sinful activities, because of our sinful activity, because that is a common, what is it, the love and lust, there is a difference. Atmendriya Tripti Vanchi Taranam Kam and Krishnendriya Tripti Vanchi Taranam Prem. That is the difference. Prema means love, means it must be utilizing senses, body. Kaya, what is it? Pranay Ardher Diye Vacha, where it is mentioned that utilize. So if we can utilize Pranay Ardher Diye Vacha, means Ardha. If you have money, at least you utilize. It is Shastra is mentioning at 50% or at least 25%. You should try to utilize in Krishna conscious activities. Okay, if you don't have money, you cannot utilize, then pranay radhe diya vacha. Then diya, use intelligence. If you don't have money, use your intelligence in writing or creating some posters, pictures, whatever, in propagating Krishna conscious activity, distributing Krishna's literature. Use your intelligence to help to distribute whatever way within your capacity. Then okay, if you don't have intelligence, if you don't have money, then use your prana, life, that means body, your senses, engage in some physical service. So in this way, then senses naturally will be controlled because you are utilizing either one of them. If you have everything, then you should utilize. And we can see clearly the examples. And that's why in 12 Mahajanas, you can, most of them are grahasthas. Very few are brahmacharis. Bhishma Pitama is a brahmachari, and then you have Narada Muni, and then who else? Everybody else is, most of them are grahastha. Janak Maharaj is a king, has so much opulence, but he is a Mahajana because he is performing exactly, even though he is a king, so much opulence. So you have many associates and wives, multiple queens, and so many things. But he is seeing everything in relation with Krishna and executing exactly under the guidance of a spiritual master and Brahmanas, serving exactly in the capacity under the guidance of Shastra and Sadhu and Guru. So that's why they are Mahajana. Yamaraj, Sukadev Goswami, he is also Brahmachari. So Sukadev Goswami and you see Bhishma Pitama, they are Mahajanas. But rest everybody else, Brahma, Shiva, so every one of them are Grahastha. Vyasdev, all of them are Grahastha. Janak Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, so all of them are Grahastha. Some of them are like big kings. Brahma is Prajapati. So much opulence is there, but he is still engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, like Janak Maharaj. And then we see even in recent days also, Maharaj Man Singh, Rupa Goswami, he has so much money. That's what Prabhupada is telling. Even 200 years before, when they have money, what they are doing is always using that money to construct big temples. This Radha Govind Mandir in Vrindavan, beautiful temple, 7-story building, huge. Even now we cannot construct that kind of architecture, huge architecture. So when he approached Rupa Goswami, I have money, I want to offer something. Then he said, what can I do? I don't need anything. But if you still want to do, please build a nice, gorgeous temple for Radha and Krishna. So Radha Govind Mandir. Then he built that beautiful temple. Even now it is there. It's 5 stories or 4 stories or what you call destructed. I mean, say when a few things are there, but almost we are utilizing only first and second. I think that's about it. The whole structure, the top structure is all is not in a good condition because these Mughals, because they are getting the light from there, from this temple all the way to Delhi. This where Nawab Hussain, I don't know which Mughal emperor was ruling. So he is getting, then he saw that, then he tried to demolish the whole thing, and that is the time. But then he couldn't demolish the whole thing. So that is still temple. Then obviously the deities were transferred to Jaipur and all. So all those situations were there. So in this, even the great kings who have so much money at that time, they built so many temples. That's how. So it's been in Vrindavan. We see these beautiful temples. All those, many of them are built by some of them are built by these great kings. So that's how they used to. Even King Kulasekara was a great, one of the great Vaishnava in the line of Sri Sampradaya. King Kulasekara is a great king, but he has utilized everything in the service of the Lord. He was ardent fan of Lord Ramachandra. He was he was feeling he wants to go and fight against Ravana. When he was hearing Ramayana, from his associates while he is being in the kingly duties. He used to run away from immediately. He used to run and let me kill Ravana, who has taken away Sita Devi. Then he used to go to the ocean, and that when the pastime comes where Hanuman and Vanaras going to Lanka, crossing the ocean and going to the Lanka to fight Ravana. So that same that pastime, then King Kulasekara started going to ocean, taking the whole army, and then jumping into the ocean and started walking. Lord Ramchandra had to catch him. So he couldn't drown, obviously. He can, that intense devotion is there. So in that way, we can see pranayana there, the air vacha. So that's what Shastra is telling when Dharma. That means Shastra is not denying, okay, and that's where the 10th verse also. So if you are saying that everything must be utilized for Krishna, and I cannot eat, I cannot sleep, I cannot defend, I cannot mate, I cannot marry, no, Shastra is not telling that. That's why further verse is clearly clarifying that. It is further verse is telling you must utilize for healthy life, self-preservation to the extent you need. Just like if you eat more than what is required, what will happen? Indigestion, or you have to go to bathroom, constipation, or more problems, something or the other. Same thing with sleep. If we eat too much sleep, then what will happen? Just more agitation, more drowsy, more laziness. You cannot finish your activities. Then anger, frustration, everything else. It is not a good thing to sleep more. Mating and defending, same thing. So in all these four, when we don't have sense control, when we don't have regulation, then naturally it will lead into chaos. It creates disturbance in our life and in the society and whoever we are interacting with. So that's why there must be a regulation. That's what Shastra is telling. Only utilize whatever to the minimum extent you need. Even the opulence, the money, the work you do, and try to balance it, and always in relation with Krishna. Otherwise, it is becoming nonam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya apnoti. Not sadhu manni asura. So it is vikarma. That means more we engage in implicated activities, irreligious activities, utilizing just for our sense, our own enjoyment. Let me build up. I have $1 million is not enough. Let me work more and more. What is the end? There is no end. There is no limit. You can go on working many years to come. That's why in this country as well, people work like 70, 80 years. Also, people will work. One car is not enough. If they get more money, what they will do? They will buy more car. One home is not enough. Another second home. Not only that, they will put in stock. They will put here. They will put there. Then what will it bring? Anxiety. You are constantly thinking, what happened to this stock? What happened to this house? Oh, market went down. What this happened? That happened. Then where is our peacefulness? So on the name of money, on the name of popularity, on the name of so many things, opulence and whatever, puja, pratishtha, you name it, then what is going to result? So it should be done, but it should be in a meaningful way. That's what Shastra is telling. And always think in relation with Krishna. Okay, if you get more money, naturally you try to utilize it in Krishna's service. At least some portion. Shastra is telling 50%. Okay, if we cannot do 25%, 10%, do something. Because more we not do especially as Grihastha, then it becomes implication. So, because it creates the greatest bondage. So that's why sometimes we see Prabhupada is also giving many times we see that they have a lot of money. They don't give anything, not a single penny. They will give everything to their family, their kids and grandchildren, whatnot. And they will come to temple. They want to stay in the temple. They don't want to give anything. Then then Krishna is very smart, very intelligent. Krishna knows what is there in your heart, what kind of mentality you have. If you have cheating mentality, then Krishna, that's why it is Pritir Vishaya, Pritir Ashraya. So to the degree we have the mentality, it is a reciprocation. Love is always reciprocation. But you have a tinge, you have mixed modes, you have a mixture of your own business if you want to do, and Krishna also will do business. If you want to cheat, you have a cheating proposal, Krishna also will cheat. Because he is the greatest cheater. Nobody can cheat. Nobody can steal more than what Krishna can steal. If nobody can bind, nobody can control Krishna. But if somebody has so much real love and affection like Yashoda Mai has, that's why Preeti Ashraya, she has completely taken shelter of Krishna and no mixed tinge. Is completely in love. She is always 24/7 she is thinking. Those who are thinking constantly, then Sadho Hridayo Mahyam. So Krishna is telling, I am always there in the devotee's heart. I am always there. That's why pure devotee, more you take association of pure devotee, because he's always carrying the Lord in their heart. That is the holy place. All the holy place, everything is situated in the pure devotee. Lord and everything. So that's why by minute we take association of the pure devotees and hear from them, serving them, whatever we can give, whatever we can offer, then that will transform our life, our home, everything. So that is what Shastra is telling. So here, that's what we have to regulate our life. We have to, so it must be meaningful, healthy, and self-preservation only. We can do our activities in that way. Then it doesn't create. Otherwise, it becomes. If we are mad after running after this mirage of life, running, going on running, there is no questioning of this status quo as we are discussing yesterday. Gita verse and this verse is also very connected, because there also Amrutattvaya Kalpate liberation. Here also that liberation is been talked about. Otherwise, it is just like we are going after this some fruitive activities, looking for always results. We are attached to the results. Oh, when will this come? That will come when my business will flourish, or when will my get promotion, or whatever we are doing. Accordingly, we are thinking, when will I go to the next level? When will I get a bigger home? When will I get this? When will I get that? So always constantly thinking, next step, what will happen, what will happen. We are not thinking of Krishna, then we are always thinking of our business. Then Krishna also, but that doesn't mean that Krishna will not give. Okay, just like a motherly love. Mother, even though we deny mother, we don't, we act inappropriately. Krishna, mother also still loves, still try to supply, try to still feed, try, when we go, still she will talk nicely. So all these things, because that mother has a pure love. Same way Krishna is even more, because in material world, still even a mother is the closest, but still it has a material tinges. So, but the Krishna is the supreme mother and supreme father. Mata Data Pitamaha. Krishna is mentioning in the 10th chapter, Opulence of the Absolute, I think, that verse. So, he's the father, he's the mother, everything. And so, he's the friend. So, Krishna is equally looking at each and everyone, he is supplying. But if you really want him, want to offer everything in Krishna's service, then Krishna is also reciprocating in this way, in the same way. So, that's why we have to really understand what is the goal of human life, and then practice accordingly, use it accordingly. So just like we work as a, with understanding that who is the proprietor, who is the enjoyer, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the supreme enjoyer. So in that thought process, with that thinking, we engage, we utilize then in our timing, or even time management also, because time belongs to Krishna. So more we utilize, that's why Shastra is giving those instructions, that those who are situated in transcendence, they are detected, they can be checked by these characteristics, that how much time, how their time is spent, how they are using their resources. So then, Nama Gana Sadaruchi, Preeti Vasati Stale, Abhyartha Kalatvam. More somebody is engaged in frivolous activities, time wasting activities, not in relation with Krishna or Vishnu, then it is not, that means the person is not situated in transcendence. So that is, these are the indications. Shastra is clearly telling. Is always thinking how to either chanting or increasing Krishna's activities. Try to utilize everything, whatever he has, resources. Artha, Dharma, Artha, and Kama Moksha. It is mentioned. Otherwise, it is Durdanta Kala Sarpa Patali Prokhat Damstrayate. Like senses are venomous serpent. Senses are compared to venomous serpent. Venomous serpent is even, it is more dangerous than venomous serpent, because at least serpent, if you take out the poisonous teeth, then at least you can control, or they may use some kind of mantra to control the snake. These snake charmers, they use some kind of mantra, snake gets controlled. But in the for the devotee, for the senses of the living entity, it is very difficult to control, because unless we follow the process given in the Shastra, then it is very difficult to control. And that's why we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing, okay, you are coming from Sivananda Sen. He was a wealthy man. and he has instructed, Mahaprabhu instructed, you maintain this whole village. He is coming from, what is that, not Srikanda, what is that, Kulinagram, I think, Kulinagram. So he told, not only Kulinagram, Sivananda, he told Sivananda, said, you maintain all of them in your village, but also every year they are coming, you bring devotees and maintain them, give the residence, pay the toll tax, everything you maintain throughout the travel, both coming in and going out. While coming to Jagannath Puri from Bengal, Mayapur to Jagannath Puri, and also going back after 4 months of period. So in this way, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing by the example, those who are whatever profession, nobody, Mahaprabhu didn't announce. Even when Mahaprabhu, somebody had a child, then he never rejected. Rather, he was very happy that somebody is having Krishna conscious child. He was naming them and he was very happy. He was giving blessings and he was getting even blessings even to the dog. Sivananda Sen had a dog. He saw a dog walking behind him and approached with associating devotees. Then a dog, he has given the shelter. Because Sivananda Sen has given shelter to a dog, then Mahaprabhu has given mercy and then he has offered his Mahaprasad, then it went back to Godhead. In this way, we see that anything which is associated with Vaishnavas, pure devotees, and then Mahaprabhu is engaging them accordingly. All these those who are Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they are the Prime Minister and Chief Minister. How much money they got? Boatload of gold coins. It is it cannot be compared to anything, any wealth what we have in today's, whether it's Ambani or whatever, your Bill Gates, whoever is the richest here. It is not even compared in that way. So much gold coins. Every month they were getting, I think, 12 lakhs of gold coins. You can imagine so much wealth. What did he do? He didn't kept anything. 50% he has given to charitable Krishna conscious activities. Then 25% he has kept for his personal emergency. That also he used to release Sanatana, his brother, from prison. And then the remaining 25% he gave it to his relatives and friends. That first 50% he has given to the Brahmanas and Krishna conscious activities. In this way he has distributed. He didn't kept a single penny. And then he went as a beggar. He went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, surrendered. He told, Ke Ami, Amar Tapatre. Please tell me, everybody calls me Satyakari Mani. Everybody call me as Pandit. They all call me learned because he knows Zoroastrian, Parsi, and so many languages. They were reading. They were always discussing also, before also. But still, they went as a humble position and surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That I don't know who I am. They call me Pandit. That is in the bodily sense. That is in the material sense. I am a great Prime Minister, Chief Minister. I am getting so much wealth. I have so much popularity and everybody following us. But in reality, we don't know who we are. What is our position? What duty I have to perform? What is my duty? So I don't know. So in this way, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed them in the 10 days at the Shastra Ghat. That is what is translated as written. Rupa Goswami has written so many books. Some of them are Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction, which is the teachings of and then teachings of Lord Chaitanya. These three books are coming from Rupa Goswami, given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Some of the instructions given, many instructions Mahaprabhu has given. Go and establish temples, be in the Vrindavan, preach the message of the Lord, establish excavate the lost temples, and many other instructions Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. So they exactly followed everything they renounced. They were staying one day at under one tree. Obviously, they are exalted devotees. They can perform, but that's why Mahaprabhu has given so many. Means those who are in that state of consciousness, for them that is given. Then those who are like Shivananda Sen, those who are in a grihastha, those who are working as a profession, as a doctor, like a Mukunda or like Shivananda Sen, I think he is in a business or something. So whoever has money, even King Pratap Rudra has so much wealth. He was the king of Orissa. Then what he was doing? Then in the beginning also he was very pious. Then he started associating. He was very much attracted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and his beauty and his kirtan. Then he started wherever he was going. When he was going to Vrindavan, he told, and he also told, whenever devotees are there coming from Bengal in a 4 months period to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri, give them whatever all the residences and make sure supply whenever they want prasad, you supply abundant prasad, don't ask anything. In this way, King Prataprudra received the mercy, because when we serve devotees, especially during Damodar month, Purushottam months, anytime generally, even these even more auspicious. So more we are serving always devotees, more we are having a nice relationship with devotees. We are always looking at positive qualities with any living entity for that matter. And more we have that kind of behavior, then Krishna is more inclined to offer his mercy and give his mercy. So in that way, King Pratapadra more he served his devotees, always taking care of his devotees. Then naturally, Mahaprabhu gave his blessings, his association, and ultimately he became also a great confidential associate. So we see many examples like that in Sri Chaitanya Leela, Gaur Leela. The big wealthy people, Gunaraj Khan coming from Kayastha family, like same as this Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami were Kayastha, that means Vaishya community. They are before that Saraswat Brahmanas, and the before his family generation. But they moved from Karnataka, Saraswat Brahman, then they moved to Bengal and worked in Nawab Hussain. So they became, but they were ostracized because they joined Muslim government. So that's why their names also changed, Sakar Malik and Abir Khas. So in this we see so many examples. The many wealthier Gunaraj Khan also from, I think, Kulina Gram. So Gunaraj Khan was also coming from that wealthier family, and he has so much, but he was utilizing everything. He wrote a great book called Sri Krishna Vijay. And Prabhupada was giving in the purport that one who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, it's a poetry, but it's a really important book. I'm also looking for that book, Sri Krishna Vijay, and a nice book, and one should read. One who wants to advance must read, try to understand that. That is written by Gunaraj Khan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very much very attracted by Gunaraj Khan's activities and his devotional activities, and his absorption in Krishna and his Krishna's service. So then his whole family, then Gunaraj Khan, by that say Kulinagram, anybody from Kulinagram, then Mahaprabhu was very much always giving his association, because Gunaraj Khan from that place, Kulinagram, and so in that way Kulinagram became very popular. So because Mahaprabhu has given the mercy, because of the great devotee Gunaraj Khan and his family, Ramananda Vasu and few others. In this way, even the wealthier people, they are, even though they are working, they are getting a lot of money, but they are utilizing everything in Krishna's service. So this is the way to utilize this dharma, artha, and kama, and ultimately it leads. They're supposed to lead to liberation. It is not like in, that's why it is called Vedanta. Bhagavad Gita is Vedanta, because if you read Vedas, you look at, oh, if you want this, if you want beauty, then you worship Indra. You want this, you worship the other demigod. You want, so many benefits you will get. That's what different Vedas, different Puranas, you will get so much bewildered that you get so much fruitive activity, and that's what that actual knowledge has been taken away, stolen away, taken away, because your consciousness is not right. Like Ravana, you see all the demons, Hiranyakasipu, so much, they have so much wealth of knowledge, but how did they use? That's why the application is very important. Only if they are guided by the bona fide Acharya, they are applying in the right way as per Shastra and Sadhu and Guru, then only they get transformation. Otherwise, they get implicated. Mayaya apahrata gnana, their knowledge has been taken away. So completely their mind, the lust is situated in their mind, intelligence and false ego, senses, everywhere. What will it do? Knowledge. That's why knowledge is not good enough. Whereas Mayavadis or those who are Brahmavadis, Jnanis, they're always after this knowledge, swadhyay, self-study. None of these can help. You can lead up to all the way up to Brahma Jyoti. You will fall down from there also. So we cannot really get ultimate happiness. Otherwise, most of the times knowledge is taken away. Knowledge is not enough unless you put in practice. You understand what the behind the actual essence behind the knowledge. That means you have to realize that knowledge. It has to become from jnana has to become vignan. That means you have to apply, practice it. It's not simply theorizing it. It must be practiced in our life. Then it becomes Vijnan. Then we get realizations as we practice more and more, and also it leads on to Brahma Saukyam Anantam. The happiness, the bliss we can perceive directly. Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam. That's what this bhakti means. So that's what these two verses is telling, because it is continuation of the previous verses where it is telling utilize your senses, utilize your consciousness, you utilize your in the service of the Lord, but also knowledge is not good enough. You must practice it. That doesn't mean you engage always with the thought process that I will utilize. Okay, if I get more money, I will also buy this car. I will buy this thing. I will buy that thing. So and with no limit, with no satisfaction, and end in line, and you are constantly absorbed in the material consciousness, then that is not going to lead to ultimate liberation. That's why parishrama, hard labor. Pa means pena. You get so much foam when you sleep, and then it will remain baffled. Vyardhata. That means you are frustrated. So because it is not giving ultimate happiness. No matter how much money we have, how much resources, how much popularity, how much wealth we got, beauty, education, whatever you name it, none of them can give ultimate happiness. So Vyardhata, then ultimately it will also lead into bhaya, fear. More we have things, you will be always fearful. Oh, somebody is going to steal, somebody is going to do this, that, somebody is going to, stop my business. So many things. That is constantly in agitation. That's what we can see in political world. That's what we see in business world. That's what we see in IT world also. Whether it's Amazon or something else, something else. So it always that is always there. So that because of this same thing, Nonam Pramad, mad after just getting money, getting just keep on working without really understanding what is the ultimate goal of human life. So that's what it leads us into anxiety, frustration, and always looking at negatively, not positively, always pessimistic, not optimistic. So in this way, so that's why Shastra is telling it leads to bhaya, fear, and then ultimately mrityu, death. Whether you believe, whether you are atheist, whether whatever you believe it or not, person has to leave this world, leave these resources, leave this money, whatever wealth, everything, whatever you have accumulated, everything will go, everything. But those who are attained Krishna consciousness, they will continue where they left off. They are not going to lose anything. They are not going to lose all the credit in the Krishna consciousness activity because they are utilizing their money, everything, that bank balance, their next life also they will get, because they will continue where they left off. If they haven't perfected, if they perfected, they will attain spiritual body, they will go back to Golok Vrindavan. If they didn't fully perfected, then they will continue in the next life, they will get human body for guaranteed. Shastra is clearly telling, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, everywhere. And then and also because your pious credits are utilized, your ardha, your wealth, everything, your diya, prana, your diya, vasi, you are always engaged in connection with Krishna, then naturally you will get all that opulence because your free will is used properly, your everything is used properly, then obviously you will get the resources, whatever resources you need in the next life. So you are not losing anything. But those who are working materially, just then their everything gets exhausted because they didn't utilize properly. They utilized only for their body and extended body. Then obviously this is only temporary. In this life they will enjoy based on the past life, previous life. They will get so much wealth and whatever in this life only. Minute they don't utilize free will and they are proportionately engaging in this yajna dana tapa kriya properly as per Shastra, then they will have to get not even get human birth. And we have seen Shastra astrology are telling Jawaharlal Nehru became a dog in the next life. So that's how it will be because we don't realize, but that's what will happen. Shastra, material nature will not. It is forcing a living entity to take up the body naturally because based on what kind of activity we do, naturally we have to take up. So karanam gunasanga sad asad janma yonishu. So that is what material nature will force the living entity because it is all based on summation of our life activities will come at the time of death. Then so nothing much we can do about it at the time final days. So that's why we have to utilize our free will properly. That's what this ninth and tenth is telling, giving indication that how to utilize our life, how to control our senses, how our occupational duties must be properly engaged, so that it will lead us nice and lead on to happiness and satisfactory and peaceful. So we are not agitated, and then that whoever is associated in the family or in our relationship, they will also be peaceful by associating with us. Nobody gets agitated. So, in this way, we can lead a successful, blissful, happy life. So, with that, we'll stop here. I have to run to temple.